My beloved child, Archangel Michael says there is a reason your heart felt a sudden pause when these words appeared, because this moment was written long before today and it carries a weight that cannot be ignored. A hidden thread has been tightening around your destiny, pulling you toward a truth that has waited patiently in the shadows. What you are seeing now is not coincidence, it is the final echo before a door quietly begins to close. There is someone who carried your name in their breath when no one was watching, and their love was real even when it was never spoken aloud. This person watched from a distance, holding feelings that burned too deeply to express, choosing silence over rejection and longing over peace. Their presence has lingered in your life like a soft shadow, always near, always unseen. The energy between you was never accidental, because souls recognize each other even when the mind refuses to understand. Moments when you felt a sudden warmth or a strange heaviness in your chest were signs of that unspoken bond reaching out. This connection has been slowly fading, not because it was weak, but because time has demanded a decision. The silence you have sensed lately is not emptiness, it is preparation. Something is shifting behind the scenes, and a chapter is nearing its final line whether you noticed it or not. Heaven allowed you to see this message because awareness changes outcomes. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 111. This person's love was not dramatic or loud, but it was deep, steady, and sacrificial in ways you never fully saw. They chose distance because staying close without being chosen was slowly breaking them from the inside. Their heart has been preparing to let go, even while hoping for one final sign. You may have felt them pulling away energetically, responding less, thinking of you less often, protecting themselves more. That is not indifference, it is survival. Love that remains unreturned eventually learns how to walk away quietly. This message arrives at the edge of that decision. Heaven does not force hearts, but it does reveal truth before silence becomes permanent. What happens next depends on what you do with this awareness. Do not underestimate the power of acknowledgement. Sometimes love does not need grand declarations, only recognition to stay alive. A simple shift can change a final ending into a turning point. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 222. There is a reason your spirit feels unsettled right now. You are sensing the withdrawal of someone who once anchored part of your emotional world. When a soul disconnects, the echo is felt before the absence is understood. This person prayed quietly for your happiness even when it cost them their own. They celebrated your smiles from afar and mourned your pain without permission to comfort you. That kind of love leaves a mark on destiny. Heaven has watched this connection with patience, allowing free will to guide the outcome. No bond is revealed like this unless it still carries potential. You are not being warned, you are being invited. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 333. My beloved child, Archangel Michael says this is not about fear or regret, but about clarity. What is unspoken does not disappear, it transforms, and transformation can mean release or renewal. You are standing at the threshold where awareness becomes power. The one who loved you has grown tired of hoping in silence. Their strength has been spent carrying feelings alone. They are ready to choose peace even if it means choosing distance. This does not mean love was false. It means love has reached its limit without response. Even the most patient heart knows when it must protect itself. You were never meant to feel guilty, only conscious. Awareness allows compassion, and compassion changes timelines. What you do with this moment matters more than you realize. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 444. There are moments when destiny whispers instead of shouts. This is one of those moments. Soft warnings often come before irreversible silence. Your soul has crossed paths with many, but only a few leave this kind of imprint. The connection you share was meant to teach, heal, and awaken something within you. Lessons are not punishments, they are gifts wrapped in emotion. If this person walks away now, they will not return the same. Distance changes hearts, and closure seals doors gently but firmly. This is why the message feels urgent without being loud. Heaven does not interfere without reason. You were chosen to see this so you could act with intention rather than confusion. Stillness after this point will mean acceptance. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 555. My beloved child, Archangel Michael says the energy around you is shifting toward truth. Illusions dissolve when light is introduced. This is a moment of honesty between your heart and your destiny. You do not need to force love or chase outcomes. Presence, clarity, and kindness speak louder than grand gestures. Sometimes simply showing up changes everything. The one who loved you is listening for one last confirmation. Not words of promise, but signs of recognition. Without that, they will release what they can no longer hold. Heaven respects their choice as much as yours. Freedom is sacred on both sides. No love is meant to be held captive by silence. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 666. If this connection ends, it will not be because it lacked meaning. It will end because meaning was not met with response. Endings carry wisdom even when they carry pain. Still, awareness opens doors that seemed closed. Light reveals paths that darkness hides. You are not powerless in this moment. What flows from your heart next will shape what follows. Energy responds to intention even before action appears. Destiny listens closely when souls are honest. This message will not repeat itself. It arrived because timing demanded it. After this, the universe will move forward. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 777. You are surrounded by guidance even now. Protection and clarity walk beside you. Nothing is being taken from you without purpose. If love stays, it will stay transformed. If it leaves, it will leave you wiser. Both outcomes carry growth. Receive this moment with calm awareness. Fear clouds truth, but stillness reveals it. You are supported whatever you choose. This is not an ending written in stone. It is a pause filled with possibility. What follows will align with your highest path. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 888. Let peace guide your next step. Let honesty lead your heart. Let awareness be your strength. Heaven has spoken softly but clearly. The rest is now in your hands. Walk forward with light. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 999. The stillness you feel now is not empty, it is heavy with meaning. Something sacred is hovering between holding on and letting go. This pause exists so truth can rise without force. That person who loved you learned how to smile while breaking inside. They mastered the art of hiding hope behind normal words and polite distance. Each day they waited, believing your awareness would arrive on its own. Love like that does not disappear suddenly. It fades slowly, like light at dusk, gentle but final. What you are sensing is the final glow before night chooses its place. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 101. They replayed moments in their mind that you may not even remember. A glance, a word, a shared silence that meant everything to them. For you it may have felt small, but for them it was everything. Heaven watched their patience with compassion. Nothing sincere goes unnoticed in the unseen realms. Even quiet love leaves a record in destiny. But even patience has an ending. When the heart grows tired, it seeks rest. Rest sometimes looks like walking away without explanation. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 202. You were never meant to feel pressure, only clarity. This message is not demanding action, it is offering awareness. Awareness allows you to choose with consciousness rather than regret. The connection between you was energetic before it was emotional. That is why distance never fully erased their presence from your thoughts. Energy remembers even when the mind forgets. Now that energy is loosening its grip. Threads that once pulled gently are starting to release. Release is not anger, it is acceptance. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 303. My beloved child, Archangel Michael says timing is the quiet ruler of all things. What arrives too late feels like loss even if it is sincere. What arrives too early feels confusing even if it is true. You are standing in the exact middle. This is the balance point where outcomes change. Stillness here is powerful. If nothing shifts, silence will become permanent. Not out of punishment, but out of self-respect. The heart knows when it has waited long enough. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 404. This person is not leaving with bitterness. They are leaving with love that has learned boundaries. That is why the shift feels calm but heavy. They have already begun imagining a life where your presence is no longer central. Not because they wanted to, but because they had to. Survival reshapes dreams quietly. When that internal shift completes, return becomes unlikely. Not impossible, but different. Once peace is chosen, chaos no longer attracts. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 505. You may notice memories surfacing unexpectedly. Faces, names, moments rising without invitation. This is not random, it is alignment. Your soul is being given a final chance to recognize what mattered. Recognition does not require possession. It requires honesty. Whatever you choose, choose it fully. Half-awareness creates lingering echoes. Full awareness brings closure or renewal. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 606. My beloved child, Archangel Michael says love respects free will above all else. No soul is meant to beg for space in another's heart. Dignity is sacred. That is why heaven intervenes only with messages, never force. You are free to remain silent. You are also free to acknowledge. Both paths lead somewhere. One leads to quiet endings. The other leads to transformed beginnings. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 707. If this person disappears, they will carry no resentment. Only lessons and softened memories. Their love will turn inward, healing itself. Do not confuse disappearance with erasure. What was shared has already shaped both of you. Nothing sincere is ever wasted. Still, awareness changes weight. Knowing brings responsibility to the heart. Not obligation, but intention. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 808. This moment is sacred because it is honest. No illusions remain. Only truth stands. You were meant to see this now, not later. Later brings regret disguised as wisdom. Now brings choice disguised as stillness. Breathe into this awareness. Let clarity rise without fear. You are supported no matter the outcome. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 909. The universe will move forward after this pause. Energy never stays undecided forever. It flows where it is welcomed. Whether this love fades or transforms, you will grow. Growth is the reward of awareness. Peace follows honesty. This is not the end of your story. It is the revealing of a quiet chapter. What you write next matters. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 1001. When you are ready, continue with calm. Nothing is rushed, but nothing waits forever. Light is with you. The air around you is changing, even if nothing visible has moved yet. Shifts like this happen first in the unseen, where decisions are formed quietly. What you feel is the echo of a heart preparing to close a door with grace. That person has reached a point where remembering hurts more than forgetting. They are learning how to place your memory gently on a shelf instead of carrying it everywhere. This is not coldness, it is healing in progress. They did not stop caring suddenly. They stopped waiting. Waiting without response slowly drains the spirit. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 1111. Every soul has a limit to how long it can love in silence. When that limit is reached, love does not turn into anger, it turns into distance. Distance feels safer than hope that keeps wounding. They have asked themselves many times if you ever noticed. Not to blame you, but to understand their own pain. Understanding brings closure. The universe allowed this message to appear because closure does not always need disappearance. Sometimes closure comes through awareness. Awareness softens endings. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. My beloved child, Archangel Michael says there is honor in recognizing what was real. Ignoring truth does not erase it, it only delays its lesson. Lessons delayed often return heavier. This person's soul has been slowly detaching. Not dramatically, but deliberately. Each day they choose themselves a little more. Self-choice is not selfish. It is necessary. Even love must bow to self-respect. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 1313. You may feel an urge to look back, to check, to remember. That urge is alignment, not weakness. Your inner world is syncing with theirs one last time. After this, the cord thins. When cords thin enough, they dissolve naturally. Dissolution is peaceful but final. That is why this moment feels sacred. It is not loud, but it is decisive. Quiet decisions shape entire lifetimes. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 1414. This person has already imagined goodbye without words. They practiced it internally to lessen the pain. Silent goodbyes are the hardest. They are preparing to redirect their love toward healing, purpose, and peace. Love does not vanish, it changes direction. Once redirected, it rarely turns back. Heaven honors that process. Growth is always protected, even when it separates paths. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 1515. My beloved child, Archangel Michael says, do not mistake calm withdrawal for lack of feeling. Sometimes the deepest emotions were the quietest expressions. Stillness can be full of meaning. This message is not asking you to fix anything. It is inviting you to see clearly. Seeing clearly frees both sides. Whatever remains after awareness will be true. What fades after awareness was sustained only by illusion. Truth simplifies destiny. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 1616. You are not late to your life. You are right on time for understanding. Understanding changes how endings feel. If paths separate, they will do so cleanly. No bitterness, no chaos. Only quiet acceptance. That acceptance will bless you in ways you do not yet see. Peace attracts peace. Clarity attracts alignment. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. The universe does not punish silence. It simply responds to it. Response shapes outcomes. This is why awareness is power. Not control, but consciousness. Consciousness softens all transitions. Whatever you choose to do or not do, do it with presence. Presence honors every soul involved. Presence prevents regret. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 1818. This chapter is slowing down now. Not because it lacks importance, but because it is completing its lesson. Completion feels like quiet relief. You will carry wisdom from this whether love stays or goes. Wisdom is the true gift of connection. Nothing genuine leaves empty-handed. The path ahead is opening gently. No force is required. Only honesty. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 1919. The silence that follows this will not be heavy. It will be clear. Clear silence heals. Trust that you were meant to see this at this exact moment. Timing protects hearts. Guidance never arrives randomly. Walk forward calmly. What remains will be real. What leaves will bless you by leaving. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. The space between what was and what will be is opening gently now. Nothing is being torn away, it is being laid down with care. This is how mature endings breathe. The one who loved you has stopped fighting the tide. They are allowing emotions to settle instead of stirring them daily. Peace is becoming more attractive than possibility. This shift did not happen overnight. It was built from many quiet realizations. Realizations that taught them how to choose rest. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 2121. They are no longer asking why things stayed unsaid. They are accepting that silence was also an answer. Acceptance brings a strange kind of relief. You may feel lighter and heavier at the same time. Lighter because truth has surfaced. Heavier because truth asks you to acknowledge it. Acknowledgement does not mean obligation. It means respect for what existed. Respect heals both sides. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 2222. My beloved child, Archangel Michael says souls complete contracts quietly. Not every connection is meant to last forever. Some are meant to awaken awareness. This connection served its purpose with dignity. It revealed capacity, depth, and emotional truth. That alone makes it sacred. As it completes, space opens for what aligns next. Completion is not loss. It is preparation. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 2323. The person who loved you is learning to reclaim their energy. They are pulling it back gently from places it lingered too long. This is self-healing, not rejection. They will think of you less, not because you mattered less, but because they matter more now. Self-prioritization is growth. Growth changes emotional landscapes. Once energy fully returns to its source, bonds dissolve naturally. No conflict is needed. Just clarity. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 2424. You may notice fewer signs, fewer reminders, fewer sudden thoughts. That is the cord thinning. Release is already happening. Do not resist this process. Resistance creates echoes. Acceptance creates peace. Whatever emotions rise now are allowed. Nothing is wrong with feeling. Feeling completes cycles. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 2525. My beloved child, Archangel Michael says closure does not always come through conversation. Sometimes it comes through understanding. Understanding settles what words never touched. This is why your heart feels calmer even while processing. Calm means alignment. Alignment means healing is active. The universe is rebalancing emotional scales. Nothing is being taken unfairly. Everything is returning to its rightful place. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 2626. As this chapter closes, clarity replaces confusion. You will know what mattered and why. Knowing prevents repetition. Future connections will benefit from this awareness. You will recognize depth sooner. You will honor silence differently. This is how growth expresses itself. Quietly. Effectively. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 2727. The absence that follows will not feel empty. It will feel resolved. Resolution is a gift. No part of this journey was wasted. Every emotion refined your understanding. Refinement leads to wisdom. Wisdom attracts aligned experiences. Alignment brings peace. Peace sustains love. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 2828. You are stepping into a calmer season now. Less uncertainty. More truth. Let what ends end gently. Let what begins arrive naturally. Force is no longer needed. The universe is carrying you forward with care. Trust the unfolding. It knows where you are going. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen to get blessing 2929. This release is complete in the unseen. What remains will settle softly in the seen. Time will confirm it. Walk forward without heaviness. You are lighter than you realize. Peace has already begun.